Hi guys, welcome to Chris Ryan Golf. We're in the tailor-made fitting suite at the Belfry today, and we're going to do a video looking at the backswing, the downswing, and maybe what happens between the two. So most golfers out there would be fairly happy that there's a backswing and there's a downswing, and that's pretty common terms that most people would be pretty happy using. Using those terms alone, so just believing there is a backswing and then there is a downswing, can sometimes leave the golfer in some positions which we don't really want to see. I would prefer you to think of it in this way. There is a backswing and there is a downswing, but between the two there is a transition. So this is when we are moving from the backswing to the downswing. Now, we can't pinpoint this in terms of a time or a point or whatever it may be, because it's happening over a period of time. So what do I mean by that? Well, what we wouldn't see is we wouldn't see the golf club and the body moving away from the target, so this way, and then everything moving towards the target in this fashion, okay? So this would be me demonstrating a backswing and a downswing. So everything moves away from the target, and then everything moves towards the target. Now, there are plenty of golfers that I see who do this. So in their golf swing, there is certainly a backswing and a downswing, but with better golfers, you will see a backswing, a transition, and then the downswing. So what do we mean by that? Well, what we would see is in the backswing, the club and the body would begin to move away from the target. Okay, so that's fairly common, we'll all be fairly happy with that. But as the club is still moving away, so technically in its backswing, the body, or should more short, the legs and the hips would begin to move and start their downswing. So there is a period of time where the lower body has started to move towards the target, so technically the downswing, whilst the club is still moving away from the target. So this is what we'd call the transition, where we're moving from one to the other. Now, all good golfers, all accomplished golfers, all powerful golfers will have this sort of transitional move in there, and it's really, really important to get that separation between the lower body, the upper body, and the club. It also loads the club shaft a little bit more, so we get a little bit more lag in there, and it helps us achieve some more powerful shots, but basically achieve some better impact conditions with better body positions. So certainly, take those thoughts to the driving range and try and think about whether you're the kind of golfer who makes a backswing and then tries to make a downswing and separates those two movements. What we want you to try and do is feel that as the club is moving technically away from the target still, the body starts to move towards the target. Now, you're not going to necessarily feel this because it's over such a short period of time, but if you do have access to a high-speed camera, I know a lot of the phones these days have got sort of very good slow motion capabilities, but if you look at your swing in slow motion, you should start to see that. You should start to see the pelvis moving slightly towards the target, maybe starting to unwind a little bit, whilst technically the club head is moving still further from the golf ball. Just be aware, we don't want it too much. We don't want to suddenly start getting golfers halfway into their backswing and starting to move their legs towards the target. It's just this feeling, I'll do a couple of practice swings first, of starting the downswing before the club has completed its backswing. And what we need in order to do that is a good solid hold on the club. Too much pressure in the fingers and too much tension in the wrist will tend to limit this. So we need good grip pressure. Technically, you need a pretty decent golf swing for this to happen. But if we can start to understand that there's a backswing, a transition, and a downswing, we'll hopefully leave ourselves in some better position to hit some shots. So let me go ahead and fire a couple away. I've just got a 6-iron here, so hopefully you'll be able to see what we're talking about here. So just going to go ahead and hit a standard 6-iron. Okay, pretty good. Just going to do one more. So hopefully you can see the sort of legs as they starting down a little bit before the club has finished moving away from the target. Very, very good way to get some power into the golf club and good way to get the sequencing excellent on your downswing. Okay, two pretty good shots there. Pretty happy with that. Gone a little bit left, but I'm going to blame that on the wind that's off the right today. So let's get this clear in our minds. There is a backswing certainly, but then there is a transitional part to the golf swing, and then we've got the downswing. If we can start to include that into our practice, maybe start to understand it better, maybe start to work towards improving it, we should hit some better shots, maybe hit the ball a bit further, and generally play some better golf. So thanks for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, post your comments down below, and if you haven't done already, please subscribe to my channel. All these videos are free. There's more content going up each week, so hopefully they're out there for you to enjoy. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.